If you're on SSI benefits and want to know your payment dates for November 2023, you have come to the right place. In this video, I'm going to share with you when your payments are going to hit your bank account for November. In addition, I have some three major news highlights that I want to share with you, things that are going to impact your benefits. So stay tuned to the end of this video to hear these three highlights about Social Security COLA that was recently released, what your maximum SSI benefits are going to be, and your resource limits for 2024, and then an increase in Social Security overpayments that have been going out, which you don't want to miss because this is impacting a lot of people and they are receiving these letters that are asking them to pay back thousands and thousands of dollars in SSI overpayments. So stay tuned. Now, if you're new to this channel, I want to urge you to subscribe to our channel because all we do is provide you the latest information and news on anything that is coming in and out of Congress that may affect your SSI benefits. So let's get right into it. So, just to recap, and as a reminder, Social Security SSI benefits, your maximum individual benefits are $914 a month, and as a couple, you get $1,371. Your resources limit are $2,000 for an individual and $3,000 as a couple. Why am I telling you this? Because of what I'm going to say at the end regarding these overpayments, because a lot of you are being hit with overpayment letters because you are exceeding, partly because you're exceeding these resources limits. So, now let's talk about Social Security SSI payments. As you may know, SSI payments are made on the first of each month, unless the benefit date falls on a weekend or a holiday. Now, if you are receiving both SSI and Social Security benefits, then your payments are sent on the third of each month, unless it falls on a holiday. So, what are the payment dates for November 2023? When is the money going to hit your account? Well, the money is going to hit your account on Wednesday, November 1st, because November 1st is a Wednesday, it's a weekday. So, you're going to be paid on the 1st if you are receiving SSI benefits only. If you're receiving SSI and Social Security, the money is going to hit your account on Friday, November 3rd. Now, some of you may have banks that may give you a pending status 2 days before the actual payment date. And I've heard a lot of people take this as a signal that the money have hit their account. They go on and do a lot of spending, and then the money disappears. So do not spend the money until the actual due date, when you've actually seen the money go from pending status to actually clearing your account, which means that the money is now ready to go and that you can use it. So those are the Social Security SSI payment dates for November. Now, if you do not receive your benefits, if for whatever reason your benefits do not come in, they may be due to a couple of reasons. Number one, there may be a delay. So you should wait 3 business days before calling the Social Security Administration at 1-800-772-1213. Now, there are two reasons why this could be the case, why your benefits did not show up. If you've waited 3 days and it's still not there, it may be that you have an overpayment. So the Social Security Administration is withholding all or part of your payment to clear the money you owe them due to the overpayment. It could also be a cancellation entirely of your benefits because you may have violated a Social Security rule or regulation. So it is important to call the Social Security Administration and find out why your benefits have not been sent to you. Or if you have an account with the Social Security Administration, if you've set out a My Social Security account online, you can then log in and check on what's happening with your benefits. If you haven't created an account, it's very easy to create. You can just create it online at socialsecurity.gov. Now, as I mentioned, there are three major news updates I have for you that will affect your SSI benefits. The first one is COLA. Cost of living adjustments were announced for 2024 and it came in at 3.2%. We've been recording videos and updating you on when this was going to happen. Well, it finally happened on October the 12th. So the COLA for 2024, according to the Social Security Administration, is 3.2%. And this announcement has implications for a lot of things. But the first thing I want to say is that it is 50% lower than what you got last year. Last year, you got a COLA of 8.7% due to record inflation. Well, this year, because inflation has been coming down, the COLA is 3.2. So, how does this compare to the last 5 years? Well, first, COLA for the last 20 years have averaged 2.6%. That's been the COLA average for the last 20 years. So if you look at the last 5 years, 3.2% is above average for the last 20 years. But the last 5 years, three of them have been high COLA seasons. So 2024, 2023, 2022 have all been above average, whereas 2021 and 2020 have been below, because 2020 it was 1.6, 2021 it was 1.3, 2022 5.9, 2023 8.7, and then 2024, which is the one that was just announced, is going to be 3.2. So one of the things that people complain about is that inflation has not kept up. The COLA has not kept up with inflation because of the dramatic increase in cost of living, especially with food, transportation, and healthcare. And so the complaint from a lot of Social Security supplemental insurance beneficiaries is that SSI beneficiaries are complaining that the increase that they are getting is not catching up with the increase in cost of living that they are experiencing. So let's compare COLA for some of the years past, just as perspective. In 2010, 2011, and 2016, COLA was 0%. So as you can see, there, the highest it was 14.3. That was in 1980, another year of record inflation. So typically it's been 2.6% over the last 20 years. So 3.2 is above average. Is it the best? Well, given that inflation has been really rampant, some may argue that 3.2% is nothing. Well, the Social Security Administration is saying that beginning in December, they're going to send letters letting you know when your COLA is going to be effective. It's going to be effective in January, but you're going to receive a letter in December. You can also log in starting November 14th if you have a My Social Security account and see when your payment is going to hit in January. Now, one of the things that Social Security Administration has done is be very transparent about how COLA is calculated. It is calculated based on an index called the Consumer Price Index for wage earners, urban wage earners, and clerical workers, CPIW. So they basically, what it means is that they look at a list of goods and services that impact ordinary people: food, transportation, healthcare, etc. And they compare the average prices of these goods and services the third quarter of this year, which was July, August, September. And then they look at those average prices for last year. And if the average prices this year went up, then you got a COLA adjustment upwards. In years that it was zero, that is when there was no adjustment. For instance, if you look at the 2010, 2011, 2016, those years there was no price increase or increase in the cost of living. That's why you got zero COLA. But as you can see, COLA never goes down because by law, they cannot reduce your benefits. So, based on that calculation, this is how the Social Security Administration came up with the COLA of 3.2%. They looked at the CPIW for 2022, the third quarter, and then the CPIW for 2023, the third quarter. They added that up, and then the increase is what you got in your COLA increase of 3.2%. So that is how it's calculated. You may disagree with it. You may disagree with how much COLA you're getting, but this is how it's calculated. So the next thing I want to talk about is how this COLA affects you for next year. The maximum SSI benefit amount and resource limits have been announced. So the maximum amount is going to go up by $29 from 914 to 943 for individuals, and it's going to go up from 1,371 to 1,415 for couples, which is an increase of $44. Now, the resources limit for individuals and couples stays the same. Now, I've been talking about resources limit a lot today because of what I'm going to talk about next, which is Social Security overpayments, because people are tripping up the resource limits and it's causing them to owe money to the Social Security Administration, and they're receiving letters because of that. So, that is the third thing I want to talk about as an update. So, the Social Security Administration is trying to collect or recover $21.6 billion in overpayments, mostly from SSI and SSDI disability beneficiaries. And why is that? Because people have gotten money more than they were eligible for. And the reason for that is that the Social Security Administration is discovering later that people were supposed to report changes in their life, whether it's income, gifts, etc., that they were not reporting. So the Social Security Administration did not have the right information to calculate your benefits, and then they realized later that you've been collecting more money than you should have. So that is what overpayments are about. Now, typically what happens is that people don't know they have overpayments until they receive a letter from the Social Security Administration, which causes a lot of anxiety and stress. And the letters can be very threatening because it is really stating that if you don't pay the money in 30 days, there's going to be consequences. And the consequences is that they're going to withhold all of your benefits if you're on SSDI, or some of your benefits if you're on SSI. So, as I mentioned, most overpayments go to disability beneficiaries. Actually, 7%, from the Social Security Administration, 7% of all SSI, SSDI benefits sent have some components of overpayments in them. And so that is why a lot of SSI, SSDI beneficiaries are getting these overpayment letters. Well, what causes overpayment for SSI benefits? Well, changes in income situation or living situation. So you got a gift, you were given inheritance, you won the lottery, you got a life insurance with a cash component, you're doing ticket to work and are not reporting your income correctly. These are all reasons why you could end up going over the resources limit and then triggering an overpayment situation. And what happens is that the Social Security Administration, if you're on SSI and have overpayment, they will demand payment. And you have three options to resolve the issue. Option number one is to pay it all back if you agree with it and you have the money. Number two is to file an appeal. Number three is to request a waiver, which means that you are saying that if they take your money or a portion of your money, your SSI benefits is going to financially cripple you. And so you're asking the Social Security Administration to essentially forgive the overpayment. That is what a waiver is about. But typically, when they send you a letter, they're going to tell you they're going to take 10% of your future payments, your future SSI benefit payments, 10% until your overpayment is all paid off, unless you pay it all back in 30 days. So if you've received the letter, this is what it means. Sometimes they will intercept any tax refunds that you're going to get. If you're in a ticket to work program or you're working, they will take some of your wages. There's so many tools available to the SSA, the Social Security Administration, to claw back overpayments. And as I said, it's 21.6 billion that they're trying to get back. And so Congress is getting these overpayment calls from their constituents that is unfair. They are being asked to pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So a lot of Congress people are making noise, especially when an investigation by the Kaiser Family Foundation, Health News Network, and the Cox Media Group released a report showing that most people who are getting these letters, these overpayment letters from the Social Security Administration, are vulnerable population, people who are on disability benefits, people who are on fixed income, They are being asked to pay thousands and thousands of dollars in overpayment that they didn't even know they owe. And the Social Security Administration in 2022 alone collected $4.7 billion and still have $21 billion in overpayments to collect. So if you receive one of these letters, we have a whole video that we made about Social Security SSI overpayments and how to resolve it, how to file an appeal, how to request a waiver, how to request a hearing. All that is in the video. I'm going to put in the description below and also link at the end of this video as the next video that you can watch to learn more about Social Security overpayment. Why is it important? If you haven't received a letter yet, you may not know you have overpayments. So it's important to get educated because letters are going out, people are receiving it, and it's important to know what to do. If you receive such a letter, then it's not a surprise to you. So that is all I wanted to cover today regarding the November payments for SSI benefits. 3 important news updates I wanted to share with you. So, again, if you have any questions or experiences about anything SSI Social Security related, ask us in the comment section below. We want to hear about your experiences, either with the Social Security Administration or with your payments. And if you're new to this channel, I want to urge you to hit the subscribe button. All we are about is providing you up to date information, resources, and tips on anything that is likely to affect your benefits in and out of Congress. So hit the subscribe button. So I hope this has been helpful to you. So until we see you in the next video, thank you for watching.